And last but not least, you want your corn knee-high by July? Better get the plant, boys.
I make my living off the land.
This corn's beautiful.
With aching back and calloused hand.
A lot of things gotta go right yet.
The old man said you reap what you sow.
This could be some pretty phenomenal numbers.
Out here in these fields of gold.
Why it's called yellow gold.
I work harder, work harder. I get the job done, yeah, I'm a farmer. I don't back down no matter what comes my way.
Crazy year, right?
I'm an early riser, an all-nighter. Call me plowboy, yeah, I'm a fighter. Ain't gonna stop till they put me in my grave.
It's gonna be a fun year.
I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
This episode of Corn Warriors is presented by Pivot Bio.
We're gonna go look at some corn here. We sprayed it about 2 weeks ago now. Starting to tassel and putting an ear set on. So I wanna go out and walk it and see what it's looking like. So this here is a Pivot Bio trial. So the only difference is the product that we use, the Naso product was taken out. Pivot Bio, I'm putting them to the test here. I wanna see what they can do. So far, I think they're passing. We're just running out of time now. It's July, almost July 20th, and we're gonna need another rain pretty bad. If we can't get the moisture, we're gonna stay 90. We're not gonna get any rain. I hate to say it, but for ROI purposes, sometimes the best thing to do is just walk away from it. Without irrigation, we're just so Mother Nature dependent. We're getting ready to go out, and corn's close to tasseling. We have a huge heat stress right now, water stress. The corn's looking great, but there's only so much that the corn crop can handle. We're going out with this, with an airplane aerial. The thing I like about this is how long it's going to last in that plant to give it added protection. So it can give me a longer window to make that decision. We're actually here at my house, tried something different this year. Went with intercropping. So it's 60 foot of corn, 120 foot of beans, and back to 60 foot of corn, 120 foot of beans. So my goal with this is to have 300 plus bushel corn and 100 plus bushel beans all in the same field. I mean, it's not a Brooks Cardinals or Kevin Calb root mass, but it'll work here for us Buckeyes. Now we need moisture, need a lot of moisture to fill this out. It's my job to help affect it, make it fat and happy. If we can do that, then I think we're gonna be very, very pleased with the results of this. I feel like I'm representing the entire state of Ohio right now, and I want to show everybody that Buckeyes are here to play. Farming's a business. High yields is great. It's awesome. I love it. But what I love more is making money. At the end of the day, this is business. I don't want to spend myself broke just chasing a yield number. And saying that though, this corn here, this should be 300 plus bushel corn. I would be surprised if it's not. That's part of farming. There's no such thing as a perfect year. But this is why we do so many product trials year after year. That's normally a problem here. We've got a big woods right beside us. Great for hunting season, but the deer also love to eat our corn. So we try to keep the deer population under control the best we can. I feel like what makes us corn warriors is the amount of detail we put into every crop, the attention to detail, the discipline we have. It's so much more than just planting a crop and walking away from it. So we got a 22 around by 40 plus easy. So once again, that's great. 22 around, in a perfect world, we'd all love to grow 22 around corn. But this at least gives me a little bit of insight into what we're looking at for this year. Man, that's some good stuff. This is how we get 22, 20, and 18 rows around on these. This is how we get 2 ears, fully grown ears on each plant. We want it happy. And if we can get Mother Nature to finish it out, I am very excited. That's good stuff.
We are coming to see Mr. Brock Reisner. He's going to give us what is that stuff called for the beans? Revitec, yes. So that's my job on the farm, is usually doing the crap that he doesn't want to do. But that gets me off the farm to talk to people that I actually like. They're high tech here. This is what I wish we had. I could be dangerous on that. I got Jared with me today. I said I get to do all the jobs that Kevin doesn't like to do. And I said, and I get to come in here and talk to people that I like. Okay. What do you mean, okay?
How's your Jeep running?
Good. I'm excited. I told him we needed to stop by and get wheels and charge to CornWarriors. Wheels and rims. Or maybe I can get. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Come on. Nicole loves me. I know she does. Somebody has to. I know, I can't believe I'm wearing my turkey boots in my Jeep. Okay. What time did that come in? See ya, Scott. Scott and Brock, they're awesome down here. We just are very, very blessed to have good people on our team. You guys get to see the fun side of Kevin Cobb. But oh no, Scott and Brock, they've seen the downward spiral of Kevin Cobb with down corn and no rain, and they've been with us through the thick and thin, that's for sure.
We got about a ½ inch, 6/10 of an inch. Rain Saturday, today's Monday. So we're gonna go down here and look at both of our river bottoms. One is strip tilled and the other is our liquid program. Till Saturday, the strip till was a little bit behind the liquid program. So we're hoping that this rain here kind of caught it up. The main thing is I just don't want to see no corn blowed over, because if it's flat, there will be a bleeds. So it looks like everything's standing. That is a good thing. So we'll go ahead and pull some tissue samples. Looks like an Eric Reed whooping coming. The corn has grown almost 2 feet since Friday. We want to pull the last fully collared leaf. So we're 2 leaves from tassel here. You know, this is what's weird. Normally, like last several years, this same hybrid was probably what, Brock? 4 foot taller? So that tells you how dry we've been down here. You see it, we call this fully collared. See how it's wrapped around and the collar is out? And that is very important. I mean, when you start pulling your tissue samples, make sure you get in that habit every year of pulling the last fully collared leaf, because there will be different levels of nutrition in each leaf. This was planted May 29th. Looks healthy. I mean, don't see any disease. Good looking corn.
I had to call a friend of mine about watering corn. That's how illiterate I am about watering corn. I don't know how to water corn. I mean, I have no vocabulary for that. So he said, I'm turning all of mine on today for the first time. He said, it's not because it really needs it, it's because I want to get all the demons and devils out of the pivots before we do get in a bind to where we really need it. And I thought, well, you know what, that makes good sense. So we went ahead and turned ours on, and I'm glad we did, because we had some devils and demons too in ours, and we got them out. Look at that leaf right there. Look at that solar panel. Look how wide that leaf is. And you can see these are humongous leaves. Look at those solar panels. I want the biggest leaf I can get, because everything that goes on through this plant happens right here, right there. Without these leaves, this plant's nothing but a stick in the ground. When I come in here, I don't look for the insects. I look for the eggs. Well, look right here. There's your eggs, right there. See it right there. That's what I want to look for. I want to look for the stuff that's coming, not the stuff that's been here. I applied insecticide on this corn 3 days ago. 2 fungicides, an insecticide, and spray some shrimp guts on it to extract the oil out of the shrimp guts. And we don't have a real bad wind. Yesterday the wind was, howling. 30-mile-an-hour winds. The day before that it was 35. The day before that it was 25. You can see this corn's beautiful. This corn isn't wanting for anything. It's a V7, and the tissue samples, I tissue sampled this one Tuesday, and it come back perfect. Everything was perfect on this farm. We did apply this year some gypsum. I bought 3 trailer truck loads. The gypsum's not high, it's the trucking that eats you up. It cost me $500 a load just to get it trucked here. The material wasn't but like, $7 a ton. You want those brace roots in the ground. Look how healthy that stalk is. Of course, that's from the dirt, but look how healthy that is. Look at that. Look at those fine root hairs. No roots, no plant. Starts here. But now I preach root mass. Root mass, root mass. You've got to have that root mass. To me, that's 400 bushel corn. I challenge anybody to get a root ball like that.
I caught wind that Kevin was coming for us, so we had to step it up a little bit here. We got a lot of corn, it looks pretty good. The uniformity is good, but we don't need 2 inches of rain in 15 minutes. That hurts. Yesterday we had 2 inches on the home farm. Water standing everywhere, but it looked a lot better this morning. There's always room for improvement. As David said last year, our goal is to beat our personal best and Kevin every year. I'm gonna score higher than him just having green paint. I ain't worried about that. This is 6544, an aggregate hybrid. We've been planting it for a few years, but we've never highly managed it. It's gonna be exciting to see what we can do with it on our irrigated ground. My favorite hybrid is 6659. That's been a big player for us for the last few years. Yeah, we're pretty good shape, really. I finished up planting Monday. This corn's growing so fast, I gotta keep it going, but I don't feel like I'm behind. I'm just right on time, really. Heck of a lot better shape than we were last year. So no, we're sitting pretty good. Check out that placement. I'm putting all our fertilizer here through the Ys, so 100% is going through the Ys. And as of now, I'm just using this mow just to bust open this ground. Releasing the CO2, these plants are, just breathing that in, and it seems like we get pretty good rapid growth, after we run through here. Here we are Friday, we'll do another tissue test Monday, and we'll see it in our tissue test. The idea of the placement is you're putting it right where the roots are. We used to put 100% of it down here in the center. Well, if you dig down, there's no roots there. We're stabilizing it with a carbon, and that's going to give us quite a few days right there. And then just a heavy dew's going to work that into the ground where we need it. I just really like busting this ground up still. Even though we're not running no nitrogen down here, I just think we're doing a lot by opening this ground up, especially after all these rains we got. I just feel like we're doing a lot of good here. Look at that baby watermelon plant. Volunteer. Fertilizing the watermelon. We're going into V4. So this is going to get us through till V10, V12. And then our focus after that's just going to be keeping the crop healthy. We're fungiciding everything this year with running probably 20 gallon an acre. As long as we can get it done at the right timing, that's the plan. But if something happens, then we'll fall back to an airplane. Well, Dallas makes me fertilize today. He kind of kept these tankers full and shuttled him up here to me. Other than that, I don't think he done a darn thing. What's up, man? Wanna put that in a tractor? Thank you. It really don't get much better than this. But this is a pretty field and it's been a good day. It always makes for a good day when you're in good corn.
I don't think it's planting that great. There's just a lot of chickweed out here. The ground, there was just a lot of chickweed. We forgot to spray. I forgot to spray. So, bad Jake. Another thing you want to check on your first few passes, which I did not, good job Jake, was your depth. Because your depth fluid, the fast track, will definitely be deeper than it will be the other, with a rubber V or any type of V closing system really. So it was, I had to move it a tick and a half shallower. So I'd say here our yield goal is 200 bushel, if that. This late, it's just too late. Things are just wearing out for the end of the year. No, we had a rate controller go bad earlier in the season. That knocked us down for a day. John Deere rate controller, because you can't manually check it unless I miss. You can manually check it, but you can't test it like you can a Raven. Unless somebody knows something that can teach me, just stick with the Raven. Well, David hasn't hit 700 bushel, so we'll see if Corey can hit 734 bushel or whatever it is you said. I'm hoping to just hit 300 and, I don't know. For when we plan and for what it looks like, it might be, maybe 400 is not out of the question, but a lot of things got to go right yet. I'd say probably our biggest goal, let's just say 375 right now. That'd be pretty cool. 375, not as good as Kevin, but you know, remember, mine's irrigated. Kevin, he's got good ground. He does a good job dryland corn there, so. Headlands are bad, and where the tram lines were bad for the cart, grain cart last fall. That stuff is just too, I think, cold. Between the cold and being a little on the wetter side, got it. So, but that's the chance you take with that earlier stuff, and we wouldn't have had it planted by now. I'd say out of the gate here, it's probably one of the better looking ones we've ever had. That's a plus for 2020 on a whole bag of negatives. It seems like it's getting worse every year. It's never fun when you got to run a pivot to get your corn out of the ground. Drying and harvest, you know, you're going to get here late. Usually by the end of the season, those combines don't really, they don't like to stay together so hot. The only reason we can plant this 100-day corn is just because we live by lake. It's just warmer here. It's gonna feel even better to be done. So we got about 600-700 acres of corn that we plan to plant. Beans will be planting towards the end of the month, but we'll start side dressing and wide dropping here in another week and a half. Other than that, we'll just keep trying to finish planting corn, I guess. So.
So what we got here is pivot bio and no pivot bio. And I mean, just initially looking at pivot bio looks a little bit better right there, but I want to look and see if there's more root hairs. This has got more fine ones, look. Well, that's actually kind of what I was hoping to see. Those are the guys, those little bugs, they're helping in your composting, for lack of a better term, eating up the residue and churning and making life, and that's what turns residue into fertilizer. I'm gonna lose a few doing it that way, but I'm impatient. Well, there's nothing wrong with this one, but this one's better. This has got a lot, but this has more. It's at least 25% more. And that's what I really look for is when I start digging plants, because every one of these little guys is working for you. They're bringing the goodies up to stock. So the more you got of those, supposedly the more fertilizer and water and whatever else is going to end up there. This is kind of fun sometimes, seeing what you got. Like, oh, here it is. And sometimes you're disappointed. Usually I'm happy with what the ear looks like. It's just when it starts pollinating and filling, that's where you can run into trouble. Okay. With pivot bio, without, there actually is a difference right there.
There's a significant
right now, anyway.
difference.
Okay, so right here, this one looks to be, this right now, it looks like it's 2 more around, or it's just a little farther along. This little guy's 18.
That's 20.
Is it?
It is.
Early development, and when girth is formed, and that's part of the things we try to teach, is keeping that corn plant extremely happy at the V6 stage. We're trying to give it everything it needs. What we hope is another 2 around, and we've seen it in the past. We've only pulled 1 stalk apiece here, but we do have 2 more around on the pivot bio side, and we do have a better root mass on the pivot bio side. Pretty close in length, but we can't hardly tell yet, but right now it looks promising. The combine tells the tale though.
Yeah, fingers crossed we'll pick up the rain here this afternoon.
Is it coming?
I got rained on pretty good on the way over,
You
over
did.
in Polo, but and I've already had 2 phone calls about fungicide today, if we should keep spraying or not. Chris Norberg, Innovation Specialist with BASF. Veltima is really popular this year, spraying earlier. A lot of guys in Northwest Illinois here have Hagees that they're able to get through some of this taller corn. Reduces stress in the plant, reduces the temperature. Happy corn makes more grain. We're gonna go out tonight, we're gonna spray some fluorescent dye out of his sprayer, a couple different nozzle configurations, be able to go out there with the black lights and see which nozzle is best for his operation for fungicide application. We'll just have to wait and see what Dan's got set up. And I am on Team Lipkus.
You got some right here.
Right down, I'm down.
We got some right here.
I got them all the way down here.
I think these are just a little bit better.
That'd be like you took a paint can almost.